Alrighty, YouTube. Had to make a little bit of room here. I'm 6'3", 285 pounds. I'm not fat. I just don't fit in small cars very well. When's the last time you guys seen a 1983 manufacturer date right there? April of 83 is when this thing was built. This clean and cherry. Look at how pristine this thing is. All original too. Aside from this bar back here. That's just what was available back in the 80s. But the plug for the floor, it had popped loose some time ago, I guess. This thing used to sit in a field for about 2.5, 3 years, something like that. So I'm not surprised there's a little bit of surface rust there. But you take my good old-fashioned handy-dandy, what is it? Gear wrench hammer. It's hollow there because that's the torque box underneath there. So it's going to be a little bit hollow. But it is solid. You go over here to the other side. The plug is still in. That's a solid floor for having sat in a field for 2.5, 3 years. Everything's just in such damn good condition on this car. Fold this rear seat forward. Look underneath there at the floor pan. When's the last time you guys saw a 40-year-old car that sat in the field that flooded and had plenty of water and whatnot in it all the time? That was this clean and cherry. All original. Anywho, had to make room in the back seat area so that I could take the BMR torque box plates that go right there, and right there where that other plug is, the hole for the plates centers right there in the hole. Then you mark your holes and you drill them and whatnot, and then bolts everything in. I'll need an extra pair of hands for that, I imagine, by the looks of it. I wasn't planning on that, but unfortunately I gotta ask for help, and I hate doing that. But I had to make some room, that way I could get back there and do everything. We're fixing to get busy putting some real parts on this boy. See you later. I'll tag on a second part to this video here. Alright, YouTube, I'm back. Had one hell of a mess down here. Cleaned it up pretty good. But the lower control arms are out. The upper control arms are out. Everything's out of my way. I've yet to check if my BMR spherical bushings will go into those sleeves, or if I need to knock those sleeves out. But if I need to knock the sleeves out, I guess I gotta do what I gotta do. But everything is ready for reassembly and to get all the BMR parts in so that I could put the QA1 coilovers on and have this thing as a roller on the rear chassis. Ugh. Man, that gas tank having some gas in it is stinking everything up. Not pretty laid out like it was in the dining room earlier, but got all my parts outside. Here's all the old parts. I'm going to start with taking my upper and lower control arms and laying them side by side here, and just trying to get the lengths somewhat right, and do the same with the lower control arms. Need to aim the camera right, but just try to line up the eyelids of the sleeves here with those so that I have a very good starting point for adjustment. And then when it's back on the ground, I'll go ahead and do all my measurements from top to bottom for ride height, and then rear to the back of the tire, and then front of the rear fender to the front of the tire. For my adjustments to make sure for the most part it drives straight. And then also go from the edge of the fender to the edge of the tire on each side, make sure that's even. That way hopefully it will drive straight and I won't have any rear steer in it. But all the parts are out here. I should have it back together tonight. I just gotta do some drilling now. See you later. Alrighty, things are a little bit different since I cut you guys off earlier. I made a little bit of progress without y'all. Knocked out the old sleeves for the bushings. Knocked in the new spherical bushings by use of a massive ass socket. And a good 1.5, no, that's probably like a 2.5 pound hammer. Had to move the axle out from underneath it. It's just in my damn way. There's no way of working around it. As big as I am. Cleaned up some of this underliner or undercoating that was on here. Got the upper torque box upgrades in. AMR says these are direct bolt-in. They're supposed to go in real easy. I had to spend quite a bit of time knocking that in on both sides. But got them in. Got the upper control arms hanging here. I am simply pooped today. I've been out here for a good long while. But look, I forgot to bring the fuel line in. I need to bring the fuel line in. A little bit messy. No fucking well. Tomorrow morning I'm going to hit back at it and get the lower control arms in with the torque box upgrades for the lower. Those plates there go inside the car. Those boxes there go in the torque boxes underneath the car. That's the hardware for it. Need to reuse factory hardware supposedly in order to mount those, but lucky for me, I got brand new Jegs hardware. Awesome for me, or as London Tipton would say from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Man, I'm 30 years old, almost 31. I should not remember that shit. But yay me! Anywho, excuse me. It's just been a rough day. Until later. Alrighty, YouTube. It's later, also known as 5 p.m. the next day, the next business day, Sunday. Yep. Gotta get down to business on the weekend because you gotta actually work for business during the week. So, let's see what old Mikey boy has been able to accomplish here. We have a lower control arm on. We have upper control arm on. Both uppers, both lowers. Not easy filming underneath here. But here's the money shot. I gotta get back here because the stupid fucking phone zooms in for no damn reason. We got the coilovers on. Double adjustable. QA1 coilovers. Part number in one of my previous videos. So, I didn't notice my jack had leaked down just a little bit. That's not good. Oh well. Leastwise, I know the bolts are in for the coilovers, right? Oh. When installing these coilovers, you gotta be a little bit careful because the brackets that go up into the shock tower locations, sometimes from what I found on the other side of the car, they will catch and rotate as you try to tighten them down a little bit, and then they'll get hung up. And you might end up going the threads out. Thankfully, I didn't have my impact on the high setting. Real pretty. Yes, I cut the brake line. I'm doing all new brake lines. Yes, I parked the brake cable because weight savings. It's a shame I gotta hide everything by putting the gas tank and such back in there. I'm not doing a sump tank in the hatch right now because I don't feel like destroying the interior unless someone comes up with the money for it right now so that I could buy all the Scott Rod Fab stuff, like the bulkhead and everything, to be NHRA legal. Not building it to be a race car, just a really fun street car that might see some track time. But tomorrow, off again tomorrow, because apparently Juneteenth is now a holiday. They could come up with something a little bit more respectful than Juneteenth, but oh well, that's what they want to call it. Let them call it that. By the way, I got a snowblower that has tractor fucking treads on it. Yeah. All that there, that's a little bit too stock for me. Tomorrow, during Juneteenth, I am going to celebrate by removing the front suspension. And maybe work on pulling the dash out so I can get all that junk out. How are we going to pull that junk out too? Might as well just go ahead and pull all the brake lines, everything out of it, because I'm doing all new everything. No clue what brakes I'm doing yet, but I guess I'm going to figure it out, ain't I? Also going to pull the transmission cooler and the transmission cooler lines. Just declutter everything. I'll probably put a sway bar back on it, but I'm going to get new mounts and everything, and probably like a QA1 sway bar. Still got to get that wiper off. But I got to get into the engine bay in order to get that off to get the leverage, because reaching from the far side of the car over there, can't really get good leverage without probably going to break something. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and end off this video here. I'm tired as hell. I'm going to go get a shower and have some dinner with the neighbors. Till later, YouTube. Mike's Thunder Garage out.